Okay, is the NRL salary cap fit for purpose? From my viewpoint, I don't think so. I think now we've had 3 major breaches in 3 years. That says to me that the cap here system isn't working. Um, and you got to look at the cap in context. It was originally designed to have a draft system that doesn't exist. There is no NRL draft. That's what the premise of this salary cap was all about. There is no NRL draft. There's reserve grade, and then you've got second, third grade, all the grades of rugby league at regional, state, and then senior level, up to the NRL level. So that's already a flaw with the system that is in place. The fact that we've had 6 major breaches, 3 in the last 3 years, so half the major salary cap breaches have happened in a 3-year period. The fact that some of them may have had historical ongoings before Todd Greenberg was CEO still does not belie the fact that his statement during the Parramatta scandal was, this cannot happen again to any club. Yet 2 more clubs after that have been found out. One of them reported themselves. Yet you've got to look at in the wider context. The punishments vary from club to club. We've seen points deductions and strip titles all the way down just to basic fines. And that raises questions. It does. And the fact that some clubs struggle to reach the cap floor. Gold Coast Titans and Newcastle Knights are 2 examples that have in the past struggled to meet the cap floor. And other clubs have had financial issues. Titans, West Tigers, Cronulla. There are some other clubs in there that have had money issues off the field as well. It says that the system isn't keeping cost certainty, isn't helping with cost certainty. Parramatta would say, well, it was a short-term blip for us because now we've got the highest membership we've ever had of 20,000 members. We've got a brand new stadium coming. We've got a bright new future with some good young players coming into the side. So Parramatta are saying, well, we've got more members than we've ever had. Same with Cronulla. These are clubs that have breached the salary cap, yet membership is going up. So that means the members have more of a say on how a club is run. I think more fans need to be involved in running of clubs. The system itself needs to be completely transparent and simplified. I think third-party payments is a big issue with salary cap breaches. And I think because rugby league players, on average, aren't paid a lot of money compared to other professional sports around the world, they are reliant on sponsorships, personal sponsorships from companies saying, like, we want you to promote our brand. We'll pay you 300,000 Australian dollars a year to do so. There needs to be a separate system for the third-party sponsorship payments that players receive, and their salaries completely separate. It's not linked them at all. If that system is in place, it isn't well advertised. We need to have, this is the salaries for players, including bonuses, and that has to be under the cap. Third-party payments such as sponsorships of players, that needs to be a separate cap system to top up their wages. But those 2 systems need to be separate and need to be transparent and simple. There's too many complexities in here, with agents' fees being one, and bonuses and other incentives being in there, that the clubs know that the system is so badly enforced, because it is. Otherwise, why would the system be reliant on whistleblowers and police investigation and self-reporting? Clubs will cook the books and then they'll report, yeah, we're good. We're $20,000 under the cap. We're $100,000 under the cap. Yeah, it's fine. Melbourne were cooking the books for years. Canterbury were cooking the books. Parramatta were cooking the books. They all were claiming they were under the cap when they weren't. And the only club in all these breaches to self-report was Cronulla, and the officials involved are no longer at the club. So I feel sorry for the players currently at the club, but some players would have known that they were breaching the salary cap, absolutely. And that's a club that's been ridden with scandal in the last 6-7 years, with the peptide scandal, and other issues and financial issues off the field, and certain players doing things, and finally with this salary cap breach. Cronulla, unfortunately, has been tainted by scandal over the last decade or so. And it's unfortunate, because I like the Cronulla Sharks. I like some of the players they have. I was quite happy when they won the grand final a couple of seasons ago. The fact that Ben Barber was an idiot afterwards and damaged the reputation of the club yet further after the peptide scandal doesn't help. But there is a reason why these clubs are breaching the salary cap. It's because it's weakly enforced. And Todd Greenberg may come out with the tough talk, but I don't think he's the right man to lead the NRL forward. I really don't. And looking at the issues the NRL has with player misbehaviour, scandal, salary cap breaches, issues with deregistering players and coaches and officials, it doesn't seem to get into the root cause of the problem, which is the system is clearly easily breached, easily cheated. The clubs publicly sign up to this salary cap than privately breach it for years. They hold it with contempt. It needs to be more transparent and purely simplified. This is what this player is earning a year. Bonuses are given at the end of the season, post-playing season. That bonuses have to be cap exempt, in my view. So let's say a player scores 20 tries, and in his contract it says if you score more than 15 tries, you get a 10% bonus on your salary. I say that player should get his bonus separate above the salary cap. And at the moment, that doesn't seem to be the case. It's very complex. You need to have it simple and transparent and public. There's too much happening behind closed doors. There's a lack of trust, clearly between the league and the clubs. And the integrity unit is scratching ahead, trying to like pick away at various bits and pieces, and is reliant on self-reporting, and that means clubs are policing themselves. No system where a group of individuals or companies policing themselves has ever fully worked. There will always be a hole. It needs to be independently reviewed by a salary commission. Has to be, where they go in on spot checking and catch them out, because this is not working. Clubs policing themselves and self-reporting isn't working. The fact there is no draft with a cap system designed for a draft is not working. Now, whether the salary cap has evolved since it was first introduced without that draft, again, it's complex. It's behind closed doors. Last season, the league said the cap will be X amount, so 4 clubs got their contracts, were proactive, signed their players long term early, and then just before the season, actually, no, the amount we told you was wrong. It's going to be this amount. So 4 clubs were over, including my favourite club, the Canberra Raiders. They had to then shed contracts to be cap compliant and get players who had legally signed contracts to, rewrite their contracts. So they promised them X amount of salary, and it's like, actually, we've got to pay you less, or we've got to pay you less bonuses this year. That doesn't breed trust with the league either. So I, for one, believe the cap system is broken. It needs to be far more transparent, or completely transparent, or 100% independently regulated and simplified. And that means you've got to look at agents' fees, third-party payments in sponsorships to players, bonuses, and their basic salary in regular season. I think you need to have a contracted salary, and bonuses comes under a bonus cap system where you have a separate, transparent. This player has signed this contract. He will receive a 5% bonus if he scores 10 tries a season, a 10% if he scores double that, etc., etc., under a bonus cap system where players can receive their bonuses separate of the regular season salary cap. Because at the moment, there's too much complexity, too much behind closed doors, too many backhand dealings, and it's damaging the integrity and the image of the NRL. But that's my view on things. Thank you very much for watching. There'll be those who disagree and say the salary cap is fine, it works because clubs are being caught out. But I would say this, if the system is reliant on self-reporting and only one club self-report themselves, that says to me that there's a lack of trust and there's clearly a systemic cap rorting system in place by clubs. Otherwise, after Parramatta, they would have all stopped. 2 more have come out. So there is an issue in play here. Some of it's long-standing, but I don't think the NRL are dealing with it right, and I think the clubs also need to take their share of the blame. So the system clearly doesn't work. But thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Place your comments below, and I will have some more videos for you soon.